Okay guys, so it's been a while since I've spoke with you last. Just a bit of an update on the old mule, the Rascal as I call it. Hated by a few people online, well quite a few people, loved by many more. I don't think you can beat, come on, let's be honest, you can't really get much more value for money and from what we've got here. So a couple of updates then, so altogether we've done round about, let's have a look on the old mileage, 15,226 miles, so a few updates. So I think the last spoke with you, I think the bearings were getting a bit tired in the headset, so we fitted some new steering bearings, fitted a new grease nipple. I don't know if you can see that there where my finger is, but we've drilled a grease nipple in there, fitted a nylon string on the bottom to seal it. That's taken a little bit of adjustment because when it's nipped up it needs to compress, and I've noticed that with a few rides I've just had a little bit of a light knock in the headset, so we've had a few rides out releasing the fork clamps, slacking off the headset nut, eighth of a turn on the lock ring and retightening just to get rid of that play. We're still loose, but you wouldn't notice that little rattle if you were on tarmac. So if you're on tarmac you wouldn't really notice that. So main updates then, as I said earlier on, we've fitted the Hitchcock's stiffer springs. So these are 10% stiffer, £47 UK pounds sterling, British made. Springs in there, 10% stiffer with the emulators. Now I had the emulators, the YSS emulators that go in the bottom, which adds compression damping, which is really good for rough roads and general riding as well. Just stops that front, keeps that front wheeling traction a bit better. And what the combination there, 3.5 turns on the emulators. If you've got an emulator, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you need to look it up or watch my previous video. 10% stiffer springs, emulators in there, 15 weight oil, perfect. Now I'm a big guy, I'm 6'2", I weigh a bit of, I'm not light, I'm 16, nearly 17 stone in weight, so I'm carrying a lot of weight, so this poor little mule has a bit of a hard time. So that's transformed the front end, and we'll go for a ride in a second and give it a bit more of a blast around. Tyre wise, running the Scout, back on the Scout, the Mitises 809s, they wore out, so it's summer in the UK, it's nice and dusty, still road legal is that. Hey, we've got some guys here on the crossers. CRF, nice one. So any more? Another CRF, very good. Yeah. Still not as good as a Himmy, I don't think, but anyway. Yeah, I would say that. The Acabis has been taken off, so the mud guard, it's gone back to look like a Himalayan because it's a Himalayan. I don't want it to look like a dirt bike. It is a Himalayan. People say, what bike is it? They recognise it with the stock fender on. I might put the Acabis one back on in the winter because you do get a lot of spray. Now it's a bit higher on the front end, you get a bit of spray on the headlight, which is crap in the mud. So we might put the fender back on, we'll see. I might extend that one yet, I don't know. So yeah, Scout tyre on the front, so back on the Scouts for the summer. The tool tube at the back, that dropped to bits, that fell off with all the rattling and off-road, so that's gone. I carried levers and that in my bags. What else have I got to tell you? I think that's it really. Yeah, I think that is it. I've had a bit of a squeak on the suspension, so I had this very annoying squeak, which I know some people are complaining about. It's not the swing arm bearings, because we've had all that out and it's all greased. Turned out to be the shock. So the shock, probably the spring, where the spring's on the, something in the shock assembly. So we just sprayed with WD-40, having checked and greased all the swing arm bearings and the pivot bearings, everything was fine there. So it had to be the shock, and it has gone. There's a tiny squeak, can't hear it now, but it was really loud, it was really annoying, but that's gone. So weird, so I've sprayed that with oil. But yeah, changing the oil regularly, still not using the oil. Air filter wise, you can see the snorkel's gone for now, so the snorkel's off at the moment, it's summer. I'm using the paper air filter because they filter better, but I'm still using the DNA ring. So again, look at my first video, you'll see the DNA ring. So you get plenty of airflow, but you get that filtration. The K&Ns and the DNAs, I'm afraid, I'm sorry guys, but I don't think they're very good off-road. I'm an engineer and I've got my reason for that. Alright, for competition bikes, fine. I'm not going to blow the engine up, but for a bike you want to keep for a while, stick with paper, unless you're rebuilding the engine regularly. Okay, right. Well, let's take this. Let's take the Rascal for a ride. Yeah, I noticed that none of those. Just thinking, those bikes that passed never stopped, did they? See if I was all right. Must be newbies. Oh yeah, so the other thing that we did, the exhaust. Exhaust was the Lextech standard exhaust with the baffling was doing my head in. So I put the stock valves exhaust back on. Now that was better. It was quieter. It was more comfortable. It was a better road manners. A bit lower down top, but it wasn't like we didn't have that, did we? So what I ended up doing is I've got the. Didn't take a picture, but on the when you take the baffle out of the Lextech, there's a short tube. I've just effectively extended the tube by 150mm, so I've basically welded, I've made the baffle long by 150mm, and that seems to make it a bit quieter. It cruises nicely, so I'm at 60 now, don't really hear the exhaust unless you're going uphill and you're giving it the beans. But yeah, okay, I'm going to turn the ABS off and we switch there, because that was when I tried to stop earlier. So yeah, let's go for a ride. Yeah, so this field here, I think I've shown you this before, but this is my little test ride. So when I do any tweaks on the bike, I like to come down here, bit of tarmac, gonna go up into the forest, a little bit of mud, nothing too slippery this time of year. It's a nice ride. So okay, let's. You probably won't hear me talk because of the wind. So. So there we go. Look at that, the compass is working as well, is it? Hang on a minute, which way am I facing? I do believe the compass is working, so wow. Normally it just sticks on northwest, but we're on west now, so. Right. Peacocks. They're the peacocks. Alrighty. Yeah, so nice and dry. Get away with these tyres. I'm just feeling a little bit of obviously they are getting a bit worn, so different ball game in the winter, isn't it? Freewheel down here, top. The tree down here, there has. Way up. Keep it. So we'll just keep it free. Here we go. When I gave it the beans, the back end started getting a bit lively. Okay. I've got the flashing reserve lights come on. So, how many of you have managed? What's the mileage do you like getting on that red? I know it's about 5 litres. I don't like to go any more than 30 miles, but I know some people have said that that goes on for, well, some people say they got 60, 70, 80 miles. I suppose it depends how you're riding, really. I guess there's 5 litres left in there. So 80 miles to gallon, that'd give us 80 miles, wouldn't it? See, look, tick over. Lovely. Okay, on we go. that little spot here. We'll pull over here and go and have a little sit down. Nice little viewpoint round here. Just pull up and we can get around here. Yeah, where the chairs are, look. I like to come bring the Himmy. There we go, down we go. Lovely. So yeah, that's it folks. So a little sit down here. So I think that's probably about it for this time. No big trips abroad planned for this year. I would like to take it on the Pyrenees, the what do they call it, the ACT is it? Or ATC, whatever it is. Basically on the off-road route on the Pyrenees from the Mediterranean to the Atlantic. I think as it is now, I could probably ride that bike down to. I could probably ride that across Europe, and I've seen a few Himalayan riders on Facebook who've been doing the Alps and camping, and to me that's what it's all about. I mean, even in stock form, you know, it's a lovely ride. But I have to say now, with the it's probably where I want it to be now. It's just a case of maintaining it with the cam, the airbox setup, the heavier springs at the front, the Hagon shock, the lift kit at the front. Yeah, it's a full package. I can ride comfortably at speed. I'm not going to be overtaking everything left, right and centre, but I can sit at the speed limit. I can sit at 60 mile an hour. Could I sit at 70 mile an hour on the motorway? Probably could do, but 65 it's happier. You know, I don't want to start changing sprockets, because that climb I've just done back there, if I was on a 16 tooth, I'd be labouring the hell out of the engine. So yeah, so 15,200 miles. Keep you posted, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and ride safe, and let me have any comments or questions if you want to ask, or anything, you know, if I can help anybody. Drop me a comment below, and please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.